So, Daredevil episode. It was a double header today, wasn't it?
Certainly was.
Yeah, twice as boring as usual.
Double header of Daredevil 5 and 6. Ister, do you want to go first, mate? We're doing spoilers, folks. Spoilers. So if you
Spoilers.
spoilers,
Okay, I might exaggerate a little bit, but I swear, the episode 5 opened up. It was like 25 minutes of him getting a bank loan with Miss Marvel's dad.
Ugh.
Like by the time it ended,
Ugh.
I mean,
Fuck.
I think it was actually close to 8 or 9 minutes, which feels like an eternity when, and I tried to count. There was so we get about 2 hours with both episodes, and there's only about 10 minutes of Daredevil in the entire 2 episodes. It's all about New York City politics, sanitation, municipal bonds and licensing and permits, and there was a fair amount of action, but I was still just excruciatingly bored. Not much in the entire first episode. It was just a bank robbery that was kind of it was like a 15-minute scene they stretched out to make the entire
40
episode.
minutes,
Yeah, and it was kind of clever, but I mean, you knew what was happening right away. And then the Kingpin, he is just so, can I say pussy whipped? Am I?
Yeah, say it.
He's so
Yes.
pussy whipped. It's like, even when he's acting like a bad guy, it's like he has to get Vanessa's permission to be bad. The best fight scene actually was a Kingpin and not Daredevil's fight scene with the axe. Yeah, that was amusing, but
number 6, wasn't it?
and there's kind of a credulity problem. I just found myself like, I do really enjoy watching Charlie Cox's performance and Vincent D'Onofrio too. So, I mean, I was able to finish them. There, most shows I wouldn't even bother. But, it's not like, man, when I'm done watching a Reacher episode, I immediately want to go to the next one, man. It's just been really fun. And this show is not fun. Like, there's no heroism in it. There's no satisfying feeling. You don't have a payoff after each episode. And you can just see what was it? Captain Asian intersectional DEI hostage negotiator shows up, and
Yeah.
the check boxes are just like slapping you in the face like a wet glove. It's like, I don't know. I might be snake bit now. But I've watched some older shows where, they have very diverse casting. Doesn't bother me because it was done organically and you can tell it's authentic. Like there's a Sherlock Holmes show. It was US. I don't even know if you got it in England, starring Johnny Lee Miller. It's called Elementary.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, they have gender swaps. They've got trans people in there. It's everything. And you know what? It's a really good show. None of that bothers me at all.
Yeah.
But like when the hostage negotiator walks up, one, she's very unattractive.
Great Irish accent as well.
Yeah, and she's got just this girl boss attitude. Like I've seen a lot of films with hostage negotiators, and I've never seen them have an attitude like this woman has.
Yeah, and here's one. How many
Yeah, go on,
times
Melvin.
when you've seen the hostage negotiator in a film or a TV show, how many times have they done that one, tell me a joke, where the guy holding the hostage says to the negotiator, tell me a joke? How many times, aside from every time? And then they do it again here. It's like no original ideas at all. Not even something as simple as that.
The main thing you want to do in real life is establish a rapport, and she never even tries to do.
You seem very rushed.
Yeah, there's no verisimilitude to this show. Like most of the guys would be dead after they take beatings like they do in a show, and you understand there's a little bit of like superhumanness going on here, but how many times does a guy have to take a full kick to the face or a bow stick in the head until he's down? It's just like, yeah, after a while, it really knocks me out of there because And the original Daredevil, when a guy threw a punch, man, you really felt it, and they would get tired. And in this show, it's like the bullets in the A-Team. Fired 2 million bullets, and no one ever gets shot. And it's like they keep taking punch after punch. No one gets injured. I don't know. But really, the action scene compared to, they have too many cast members. They have the little, who's going to be the new White Tiger, the little niece, and the Ben Urich's daughter, and they're all getting screen time when, I want to see Daredevil. I don't want to see a show about municipal procedures in New York City for filling potholes and building a pier. They did have that guy from, the guy from, not Hawkman, what is it? Hawkeye. Her like stepfather or whatever. That guy played one of the rich guys at the banquet, the benefit.
Oh, Tony, what's his face? One out of Better Call Saul.
You think he's a bad guy, and he turns out, And he was good in it, but I just kept all these little subtle intrusions for the show to say, "Hey, we're part of the MCU," but nobody cares.
Not Tony Bennett, no.
I think he played Lala in Better Call Saul. Is the guy Lala? Is that his name?
Yeah. Salamanca.
And with all that, it's still the best one Disney has done, which is a very low bar, and it's not saying much. But, it's not a show. When shows I like, I want to look forward to them. I want to, it should be fun to watch. Like Hollywood has sucked the fun out of everything.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Melvin, do you want to go then?
Okay,
I'm going to do my best mega geek impression here. It's shit.
You don't say.
Exactly as Astaphobos just said, the episode 5 is basically the whole episode is a bank job.
2 left,
which was just kind of pointless, and it was drawn out, and everybody was stupid, and it ended in a very silly way. Yeah, and it's like, really? And then I watched episode 6 after that, and mildly better, but 6 just seemed a lot better because 5 was so bad. And the whole thing, just everything in it is rubbish. It's just really, really bad writing. It is really poor writing. It's really poor storytelling. Right? I don't know, maybe the writing's okay, but the storytelling part of it, it's like, maybe they're stroking their T's and dotting their I's and things as they should and using proper English. Maybe that's what they're doing. But
no, the writing
is terrible. It's not interesting as a story. It's just it doesn't drag you in any way. It's not compelling in any way. It's drivel.
Yeah, the writing is not okay. As somebody who's done a lot of the dialogue is awful, and the story construction is very poor. And Sword in the Storm just said, "Yeah, there's a bad guy in there who should have been terrifying, but he wasn't. He was just boring."
Yeah, he needed to go in there and grab an old lady and shoot her in the face with his gun. That is, and just to show
like
you, this man is bad. This man is bad. There can be no ambiguity here. It's not just some guy who's going to stand there and talk tough and do nothing, which is what he did for the whole episode.
Muse didn't have his powers at all.
That was later. That was episode 6. I was talking about the man in the bank.
Muse and Coldplay are boring.
He really should have been terrifying, though. He had everything he needed to be this creepy, scary dude, and I had no internal reaction when I saw him on screen, except, oh, here we go.
Anything else to add, Melvin?
You know that little girl they're getting her ready to be in, like the Young Avengers or something, right?
She's gonna be white, little White Tiger 2.
Yeah, Tiger Cub. She's going to be on the front cover of Frosties.
Yeah, and she must be, 3.5 feet tall? Did you see her standing up?
With her hands up.
Charlie Cox is only 5'8", and she wasn't half of his height. It was just like, they're not going to pull that one off.
She was the one who had her blood drained.
Yeah, the one.
They tried,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, she's Ben Ulrich's. Oh, no. Wait, no, she's the. Sorry, I mixed that up. BB is Ben Ulrich's niece or daughter. She was the niece of White Tiger. That's right.
And I know she's like an idiot child, right? But she goes down into the train station, the abandoned train station, looking for the serial killer who's killed 60 people, right? And it's like, what was her plan? She was going to walk down there and find them and do what? What was she
Gonna
going to do?
tell. I'm
Talk
gonna
him
tell
into handing
mom.
himself in?
I'm telling mommy on you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, I know, it's supposed to be like an idiot child. Children are not that stupid.
Well, that's what I mean
Very well
about
done.
construction. None of the characters have the appropriate motivations or reactions to what happens. Like, if you tell somebody something, you sort of expect a response. And you can tell that it's not organic at all. They're just doing what's next in the script. So it's really not believable. And when you start thinking who wrote this stuff instead of what's happening, you lose immersion.
How did Daredevil find him in 5 minutes?
Yeah, because he had her and he was putting her on the bench ready to whatever he was doing, like drain her blood or whatever, right? And then Daredevil, the woman phones Daredevil, and then bang, he's there. It's like, what? No time passed?
Oh, he
What
took the tube, the same tube that they take in Rings of Power when they go from Moria to.
Yeah, but I mean, it was literally like Muse already had her, and then suddenly Daredevil is there from being, I don't know, at home or in his office or wherever the hell he was.
Daredevil seems to have very, very good hearing.
He must move like Benny Hill on Fast Forward.
Well, I mean, super hearing is part of his power set, so.
And there was another thing. So he beats up Muse, right? And he wraps that thing around his neck that's on his stick, the wire, and he pulls him off of the ground, so he's choking him, right? And he's choking him, and he's listening. He can hear the girl's heartbeat, so he knows he's got to stop and help the girl, right? So he lets Muse go, and Muse falls to the floor unconscious, and then he goes to the girl, and he does some CPR, and she's okay, right? And then he turns around, and Muse is gone. It's like, he's got super hearing. He can hear a heartbeat. He didn't hear that guy getting up.
Oh, yeah. Not only that, the entire fight scene shows that he knows what's going on behind him every time. Like the guy tries to attack him from behind, he blocks it or raises his arm or turns around. So in that very scene, they've shown that he's got really good situational awareness, and until he doesn't.
Okay. Ian, you've been silent for a moment's thoughts.
Just listen to those two talk.
Yeah.
It's good, folks. Watch it.
Okay, right. So the first episode, which was it episode 6? Was it episode
5?
5. The first episode reminds me of an episode of The Equalizer, which is it's very similar. So basically, in The Equalizer, Robert McCall goes to this rich party, and all these terrorists come in and hold everybody at gunpoint, just like Daredevil. And the way he separates himself from the crowd is that McCall puts his hands up and says, I need to go for a wee. Same thing that Matt Murdock did. He goes down there, kills everybody, comes up.
TV version, by the way.
Yeah, brilliant episode.
TV version.
And it reminded me of an
80s.
It reminded me of that episode, even down to I need to go to the loo. Because I knew that was coming because it just so reminded me of it. The things that I didn't like about this episode, although I did think it was a nice little episode that wasn't linked to the story that was driving the rest of it. I thought it was okay. Things that pissed me off, right? One is what Istaphobe said about the woman that just turned up. She had no respect for the people around her, nor did she have any respect to the person that was holding the hostages gunpoint at the bank. You think she'd be more sympathetic, but she's not. First, and she's 3 foot tall. It's like, what? Second thing that really bothered me is Daredevil, right, is a very skilled fighter, okay? And if he fights someone that's just normal, it'll just take him 2 seconds to knock that bloke out. Yeah. So why did he have trouble trying to knock that guy out with the gun? Why did he have trouble trying to fight that guy who disguised himself as a policeman? Why? Right? In the comics, right, Daredevil is so skilled. He can throw his billy club. He can bounce bounce off two walls and hit someone behind him. That's how skilled he is, right? And in the Netflix, he wasn't that skilled in the Netflix, but he was far more skilled than he is in this one, right? Those things bothered me in this episode. It really did bother me. And then suddenly the guy goes, "We're going to go in," yet she's in charge. I didn't get that.
Can I interrupt a second, Meggie Geek?
Go for it.
I'll just say this while I still remember because it's funny.
Mm.
Daredevil is so accurate with his billy club that he can hit a woman on the dick.
Well,
it is.
All, I'm finished.
It is very strange, this episode. The second episode was boring as hell as far as I was concerned. It was so boring. It was just kind of slow and that stupid scene where he's arguing with the guy with the tracksuit. I was like, oh, come on, get on with it, will you? But yeah, I mean, I can't even remember what happened at the end of the second one. What happened at the end? Oh, the fight at the ending. Melvin is right? Why didn't he just hang the guy, tie it to something, then go and tend to the little tiny girl that's going to be the next superhero in the next Marvel film? Why didn't he do that? We don't know.
Don't know.
Why did it take him so long to take out that guy when Daredevil is far more, because he has the sonar and everything. He can tell when the punch is being thrown. He could calculate whatever. But it's just honestly this whole episode.
Yeah. He's not just skilled. He essentially has spider sense. It should be impossible for a normal person to even land a hit on him.
Yes.
And I had this conversation with my son. Even in the original show, Daredevil really takes way more of a beating than I think he needs to most of the time, especially if they don't have superpowers.
Yeah.
Because nobody should be able to touch him.
That's the thing about the Netflix was good, right? But there were a lot of things they did wrong in the Netflix show, like get rid of Uric, he's a prime character in the Daredevil world. First of all, they made him black. Second of all, they got rid of him. That was stupid. Finch is another prime character that was in the Daredevil world. They killed him off. Lord knows why. And in this one, they did the biggest crime of all. They separated the three that made Daredevil.
And well, you know why? Because they couldn't have three white leads in a show.
Right. That's right.
But the chemist, I like what's his name, Clark Duncan or
play Kingpin.
Yeah, he was like from The Wire and from a couple of cop shows. He's really, really good. And what's the other Baltimore Homicide, Life on the Street? I mean, he's good. But he's got no chemistry with Matt, and that woman is just it's like watching She-Hulk. She's so anti-charismatic, and so you took away those two people that I found Karen annoying, but the dynamic between the three of them was great.
Good. Yeah. Also, right, this is another way where Disney's sticking the finger up to the fans. Mm-hmm. They're literally implementing their crappy characters into something that could potentially be really good, like having Miss Marvel's dad in this. Why? So they can say, yes, whether you like it or not, Miss Marvel's part of this TV and this Marvel world. That's what they're saying to us. Hold on, let me finish. They're literally sticking their finger up to us and going, take that, you robes. It's the robes. That's what they're doing, right?
Okay, I've never seen any other than the first episode of Daredevil original series when it originally aired. I've seen no Daredevil at all. But I came in today and I came in hot and watched Ep5 and 6. Did I not, Melvin?
Well, you say you did.
What message did I send to you? Literally, it was as it was happening.
It was something along the lines of, I'm 5 minutes in and it's shit. Something like that. I don't remember exactly. But
because of, was it Jamala Khan's father?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't have a problem with him being in the episode. They just have to explain everything. They just have to say to the audience, "Oh, I'm Jamala Khan's, dad, blah blah blah." And Miss they just have to spoon feed you fucking drivel, And can't the audience just put two and two together without them telling us? And I think the message was to Melvin, I said, they just can't fucking help themselves.
Yeah,
No,
they're
they can't.
unaware. They're not changing anything. You know how you say, okay, they're going to get rid of the DEI and they make announcements
Yep.
and things like
They're
that.
not. They're
They
not.
don't want to get rid of the DEI.
No.
They're pretending to get rid of it. They
No.
don't like the
Yeah.
bad feedback, but they do like the DEI. So they'll try and dress it down a bit, and they'll try and pretend they're getting rid of it or they're phasing it out or something, but they're not,
they're
because
not.
they've not learned a lesson. They think
Yeah.
we're wrong. They don't think they're wrong.
Yeah.
There was a Easter egg in there. I don't know if anybody caught it with the so the guy from Hawkeye, the stepdad, his name's Jack Duquesne, I think.
Okay.
He's a superhero called the Swordsman, and
Yeah.
they show a guy on
Yeah.
the phone. He's playing a video on his phone
Yes.
of the Swordsman kicking
Oh,
some guy.
okay.
So it did make sense that he's talking to Kingpin about the anti-vigilante agenda. Like I said, he wasn't bad, but small
Let me
part of it.
explain why this doesn't work right. Really, basically, to you guys, when you build a house, you have to have a solid platform so the house can be built upon. When they started this series, they never had a solid platform to build upon. It was rotten to the core. So
Yeah.
anything you build upon that is going to be rotten anyway, or skewed, or weird, or out of focus. And also, right, you know that they hate the fans by sticking in Miss Marvel, by sticking in
Yeah.
what is it, Echo, mentioning Echo, and so what they're saying is, right, you don't like our characters, but they are here, so fuck you. That's what they're
Yeah.
saying, right? And quite frankly, I'm saying fuck them, because if the other episode is not good, I'm going. Do you know what I mean? And these two episodes weren't good at all, so maybe I won't watch anymore.
I mean, there was. Go on, sorry.
No, I was just saying, honestly, as I said, I've never seen any real episodes. I quite liked episode 5. I liked there was a little bit of tension, but then again, I'm not as battle weary as you guys. But I just could not get over the father. He was just a fucking bumbling oaf as well. And why didn't he take did he have a mobile phone? Why couldn't he have taken that down to the...
No, remember there was no signal. Do you remember?
Oh, okay. Right,
Yeah,
okay. Fair enough on that then.
Also,
but it's just...
right, why didn't he question when Daredevil opened the vault? Why didn't he go, what the fuck? How did you fucking do that? You know, they just ignored it. And also the fact that he comes down the stairs on his own. Why didn't he go, what the hell happened? How comes you're here? He didn't question that either. So it was just a really bad screenplay. It was a nice idea, but it's just a bad screenplay.
Like I said, none of the character reactions are authentic. That's exactly... If you had like a top secure vault with 10 billion possible combinations and a blind guy just walks up and opens it, your reaction would be like, huh?
Yeah. And also you know, when he goes, he just walks out and he goes left. And it's like, no, because the police will stop him and say, look, your questions. They will never let him step out, nor the other guy step out.
Yeah.
Either.
That street's going to be cordoned off. Nobody's like normal civilian out for a walk is going to be walking past the door of that bank. That's all going to be blocked off, right?
And you're spending all the rest of the day in an interview because they need to make sure that none of the hostages has a connection to the bad guys. You're not going home in a half an hour, man.
Yeah, exactly. And also at the ending, when he goes into the, you know, and he finds the diamond in the sweet jar, it's like, come on, you'll know that Matt Murdock put that there. So why did he put it there?
Of the diamond.
What do you mean?
What was the diamond about?
Lord knows.
I think the guy was that. See the bit in a few episodes earlier when the people were robbing the van.
Yeah.
And then Kingpin got the heads of the gangs together and said, right, you owe him $1.7 million for robbing his van.
Is that why they wanted to steal it?
Right. And I think they were stealing the diamond to pay the $1.7 million.
I see.
I think that's what I got, because it was the same guy, the Irishman.
Yeah, and I don't know. I got the impression they were stealing it from the guy who they had to pay as kind of a big FU.
But that's what I'm saying. If we have to guess, then it's a bad screenplay, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And the one funny thing, the guy goes, "What kind of lawyer are you?" I'm a very good one. That's right out of That was right out of No Way Home.
You go, Professor R2 wrenched, will
Yeah.
spot that prof. The diamond was about Luca paying that 1.8.
Yes, it was. Now he's going to be pissed because he can't pay the 1.8 million.
I
now,
have
he's
a
getting, now he has to
Luca.
pay 2.8.
I have a feeling Luca is not long for this show. It's just my like if Kingpin doesn't kill Luca, then I don't have any respect left for a Kingpin.
If you've read the Miller version of Born Again, right? It's so visceral and it's so original and it's so cinematic with the panels that they do. It just puts this whole thing to shame. This whole season to shame of Daredevil. They're not even half as original as
Okay.
Miller was
Okay.
in his comic book.
Question then for you boys.
Yeah.
Obviously, this was a double drop episode. If it had just been episode 5, would you have been wanting to watch episode 6 next week?
No, because
That's why they dropped both episodes, isn't it?
Yeah, because basically
We're near the
it
end
was
now.
as Istophobe says it was the DEI rubbish that crept in there, and that really pissed me off. I would, if they didn't do that, I would have said this episode was fine, but it wasn't. And the stupidity of the writing really did piss me off as well. And nobody questioned Matt Murdock for what he did. No one. And all of a sudden, and then when he opens the safe, he walks into the safe like he can see. Why wasn't that questioned?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's
ridiculous.
I think most of the chat have seen the episodes. Chat, were you all disappointed, folks, with these episodes? Are we going to do some marks for both episodes together? Do you want to? Should we do them out of 10?
If you want.
There you go. Ista, how many?
4.
4. Ista, is that you then? Yeah, 4.
Yeah. I mean, and that's being generous, knowing what all the other Disney Plus shows are like.
Okay, Melvin.
My take with marks out of 10 is this: that there's no such thing as a 10 out of 10. Doesn't really exist, right? You know, which maybe possibly The Godfather or something like that, right? Maybe.
Yeah.
And nothing is really a 1 either. I mean, you can hate something, but nothing is a 1, right? Everything's got something. So in saying that, I think as low as you can reasonably get, without just showing everybody how angry you are, because it's not, would be like a 3 is about as low as you could get without actually it being a personal on your part. And I would agree with the guys that a 4. It's almost as bad as you can reasonably get.
Oh, and I don't want to confuse the chat. You mentioned the Equalizer. It was the TV version, but not the Queen Latifah TV version.
EY Woo Woo version.
Yeah. Edward Woodward version.
EY Woo Woo, yeah. Ian?
It's a 3 for me. The first episode was a 3, and the second episode was a 2 because it was so dull.
Okay. These were my properly first 2 episodes I've watched then in a long, long time. I couldn't they just can't fucking help themselves. That was just a bitter pill. Yeah, they just can't help themselves. I thought this could be really, really good because I think the way it looked, the way some of the geezers were acting, Charlie Cox is pretty good, isn't he?
Well,
it could be so good. It could be just so good.
Oh, and did you notice at the fundraiser, all the women billionaires are the ones in charge of the money?
Yeah, I noticed that. Okay, you want a mark out of 10, don't you? Okay, I'm gonna give it.
Don't lie, Brown. Tell the truth this time.
You want to mark?
You can't give it a 5.5. That would be a lie.
7 out of 10. IGN.
I'm gonna give it 5.5 out of 10. Everybody,
give it 5.5 out of 15. That's probably a fairer score.
5.5 out of 100.
It's 3. Mainly because of the production, the people who, the background crew who put the program together, do the shooting, all that stuff, the production crew.
Also, New York looks like it has about 100 or 200 people in the entire city. It's I don't know if they filmed that on a lot, but
and we go.
Oh, well, I know we're going to come up on this one too. I was watching the Marvel announcement video, or I had it on while I was watching the Daredevil episodes, and I wasn't sure which one was more boring.
And on that bombshell,